So, if so anyway, well, Jason Whitney, CEO of 3Believe, come and tell us all the new exciting news. So, Jason, it's all yours.
All right, thank you. Welcome everybody. Jason Whitney with 3Believe. I'm so grateful that you're here on this fine day in November 16th in the year of our Lord 2017. Christmas is coming up, by the way. You know, I don't know a better gift that you could give someone than two things. One, knowledge. You know, there's this story about I can teach a man, or I can give a man a fish, or I can teach him how to fish. Which one's better? Well, if they're starving, giving them a fish isn't bad, but that's going to feed them for a day. Teaching them how to fish teaches them how to feed themselves for a lifetime. So knowledge is good. One of the knowledge tidbits that you can give them is the stuff that we're talking about here about how to overcome metabolic syndrome. You hear a big what out there in the universe, and they wonder what in the world metabolic syndrome is, and it's something that's literally stealing away the lives and quality of life of millions of people. You've heard me say that I have two things that just weigh on me, two thoughts that weigh on me when I wake in the morning and when I go to bed at night. Now, I'm a happy person. I have a lot to be grateful for. I have nothing that I should be sad about, except two things weigh on me. And one is that 3 people every minute die because of the symptoms of metabolic syndrome. 3. By the time this program's over tonight, we'll have about 150 people die. That's terrible. The other thing that weighs on me is 340 people die every day from taking medications that the pharmaceutical world, that the doctors have prescribed to us to treat metabolic syndrome. And they're not taking the medication wrong. They're not overdosing. They're doing exactly what the medication or how the prescription has been designed to be taken. They take it exactly right. It's just the negative side effect. You've seen the ads on TV. It talks about, well, if you take this one, your hair's going to fall out, or if you take this one to cure depression, it might make you depressed. That one I just don't understand. But they all have these really long explanations of what could happen. A survey was done, by the way. 54% of the ads of medication on TV, that's the average. 54% of the medical prescription ads is talking about the side effects. One of the guys that's on tonight owns a Ford dealership. Can you imagine if the law is that when they talked about Ford or any brand for that matter, that they said that more than half of the ad talked about reasons not to buy a Ford, they wouldn't sell any. And yet they're selling prescriptions off the shelf like they're giving away for free. Something's just not right there. It's not a cure, it's a treatment. And it's a treatment that you'll do month after month, day after day for the rest of your life, unless you do something to overcome the cause of that symptom. And that's what 3Believe's all about. We stand on the shoulders of brilliant men and women, and these are people that have dedicated their lives to do the research to find out what causes metabolic syndrome. How in the world do we get high blood pressure? It's not handed down to us from our grandma and grandpa. How in the world did we get type 2 diabetes? How in the world did we gain the weight and can't lose it like we did when we were younger? How in the world do we have acid reflux? How in the world do we have high cholesterol? And all these issues. How do we get these things? It's not the roll of the dice. It's not bad luck. You eat your way to those symptoms, those terrible diseases. You literally eat your way into it. So why are 150 people going to die tonight during this program from the symptoms of metabolic syndrome? Because they ate themselves there. They didn't eat themselves to death in one meal. It was one bite at a time. And what it was is disproportionate macro balancing. You've heard me talk about macro balancing. What that is you got to balance out the macronutrients that you're getting. Macronutrients are simply carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Well, you just got to have the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fats, and the right amount of proteins. Those things keep us alive. That's where we get our vitamins and minerals, right? So we just got to balance them in the right place, and it's called macro balancing. All right. So that's why we're here tonight. That's why I'm here. I'm going to give a little confession. I told my wife, she works here with me. I said, I got to admit, I'm not feeling it tonight. I really don't want to do the webinar very bad. I know, it's a terrible thing to say. The reason why is because for the last 2 days, I've been shooting videos for 2 days. About 12 hours of video shooting, when saying the lines over and over again, saying it just right. I slurred my word. I said the wrong thing and everybody laughs, and then we stop laughing and we shoot it again. Let me tell you, that's hard work. Yeah, I was just exhausted. I never go to bed at 8 o'clock or 8:30. I did last night. I was exhausted, slept for 10 hours. I felt better, but I was feeling tired this afternoon. And one thing got me excited. I read an email, and it reminded me of why I do these webinars. It reminded me why I did this business. It's not because I'm a brilliant man. I'm smart. I don't know how brilliant I might be. No smarter than you, right? You're here, so we're both in the same category. I was inspired because I was reminded. A person by the name of Renee, she sent me an email. Now she was telling me, she asked me a question. What it was, she said, I saw this doctor on TV. Now this doctor was talking about a ketogenic diet. Now for those of you that haven't been with us before, ketogenic just means that you're on a diet that is going to produce ketones in your bloodstream to replace the energy loss that you're going to get because you're on a low carb diet. So low carb diet, ketogenic, ketone diet, those are all synonymous with each other. And so this doctor was pitching a book or something about a ketogenic diet, the benefits of a ketogenic diet. And he said on the program, man, I wish I found or I had a good quality ketogenic approved chocolate. And Renee said, I actually have a connection. I don't know the doctor, but I know the group that put him on TV. And what if I contacted them about our chocolate? Could you make enough? Yeah, we could make plenty. We can make enough to feed the world. And I think that's a wonderful thing. That's not what inspired me. What inspired me is she said, oh, by the way, Jason, I've lost 54 pounds so far. And that just was like a shot of adrenaline. I said, that's why I do the webinar. That's why I'm excited. I've got all kinds of things to talk about. If I talk about the same things I've talked about for the last 10 years, I would be excited. But I have some new things to talk to you about, and I'm going to share. So when people came on tonight, I heard some testimonies. I heard about one gentleman, Bob Price, I think. He's lost 65 pounds. Let's give him a round of applause. Good job. Excellent work. He stuck to it. He stayed with it. And you know what his rewards were? As if losing 65 pounds isn't enough reward of release of pressure on his poor joints, the massive strength that this man has to have just to lift his carcass up out of bed and out of the chair, off the floor if he's playing with the grandkids, it's 65 pounds easier for him to do that. How wonderful. Good job, Bob. You know what else he got as a reward? He got his reward, his high blood pressure's gone. He doesn't have that anymore, which is what happens with metabolic syndrome cures. Or solutions, I should say. His acid reflux, gone. That's another common thing that's relieved by it. and his high cholesterol. He joked, he said, I almost have too low cholesterol. And so congratulations. Another gentleman on there said, I think he said, I've lost 50 pounds. Merv said he's lost 35. What a great, great thing. There are so many great stories. That's the reason. And I thank you for sharing them. Please write them up. Don't just speak them. Write them down. Put them into the annuals of history and let someone else read them. Let them read them on our website. Let them be inspired. I was inspired when I read. I've been doing this for 10 years. Nothing should be able to inspire me. I should have just fire burning within me. If I can be inspired by a simple sentence, oh, by the way, I'm up to 54 pounds. Can you imagine someone that is out there looking for a solution and they read your testimony? You would be a helpmate, a savior in some ways to their extra pounds being lost. What a great thing. So I encourage that. I have a testimony longer than a couple of words that I'm going to read here. All right. This one is from Bud. Thank you, Bud. I have to admit, I have not followed the suggested protocol. Uh-oh. We have been crazy busy and often have a meeting or a banquet to attend in the evening. Well, not suited to follow the program. That's true. I'm a type 2 diabetic and have been for 20 years. I've been to all the diabetic training at the VA. Sidebar, Bud, you're a veteran. Thank you very much. I honor your commitment and contribution to our fine country. Thank you. I've been to all the diabetic training for the VA had to offer to control my diet and exercise, etc. In spite of that, my fasting glucose regularly tested from 140 to 150. Now, those of you that don't know, perfect blood sugar level should be 75 to 85. Any reading that's fasting, that means you've gone for at least 8-9 hours without food, it shouldn't be over 120. If you're 120 or over, your doctor is going to want to start prescribing you medication because you're a type 2 diabetic. And he was being treated and had been for 20 years, and he's still at 140, 150. Certainly not where it should be, he says. I ordered the phase 4 maintenance pack, he adds. Not where you're supposed to start. You're exactly right. You're supposed to start with phase 1. That's 3 meals a day. But, Bud started with phase 4 with 1 meal a day. Even with 1 meal a day, he had one of the CMRs, that's what we call our shakes, in the evenings, and often missed 1 or 2 nights a week. Oh, Bud, he's missing. However, after about 30 days, using the CMR, that's the shake, my fasting glucose consistently tested around 100. That's not much higher than perfect. He dropped from 140, 150 down to 100 in 30 days, once a day, and skipping every once in a while. I could also stand to lose a few pounds, and without making any effort to do so, except for taking 1 CMR in the evening, I noticed that I had lost 8 pounds. Congratulations. I felt great and had lots of energy. On my annual checkup at the VA, the doctor said my blood pressure was too low. Oh, does that mean that our program will drive and push your blood pressure too low? No, wait till the rest of what he says. I take medication for high blood pressure. Oh, and so my prescription was reduced from 1 tablet to 1/2 tablet. Well, don't be surprised when that 1/2 tablet becomes 0 tablets. We are very active taking care of our 22 rental properties. I had 4, and he's right, it is a lot of work. Our work schedule and responsibilities have kept me from starting the program as I should, but I'm anxious to do so. Good job. That's a conversion. That's what we call that. I know what it'll do for me. This is a program that does not need selling. It only needs telling. And I'm happy to tell what 3Believe has done for me. Thank you so much, Bud. What a great, inspiring testimony. Good work. Update where we're at. I told you a little bit about the videos. We've been working on these videos. You know, why? Let me tell you why. Why in the world don't we have these videos already? Why haven't we had them already made and used? Well, we've been in business for 10 years, selling to the medical community. And why didn't we have videos for them? Well, because they didn't need them. And the reason why is when we set up a doctor clinic or a hospital, we would go to their hospital and train their staff face to face, fly out there and train them, and then follow up with them. We'd do webinars and phone calls and things like that. And we had all of it in a printed format, right? And that's what they used. Well, when we started 3Believe, that just wasn't a good model. That wasn't something that we could do. As much as I want to see you all, it just wasn't practical that we could fly out and see each one of you. And we will have a big meeting, and I want you all to come. And Bud will direct us to the banquet that we should go to. But the reason for the videos became quite clear. We have to do these videos to train you what we were giving these doctors and their staff. And so the videos came into creation. Now it takes me about, even though we have all the research and the content written in writing or in doing the business for 10 years, I've read 600 clinical studies specifically on the treatment of metabolic syndrome and the management of it. Being a food scientist, that comes kind of in handy. I've written myself about 600 pages on the topic for the doctors and for this training. Well, I had to rewrite, and it takes me about 3 to 4 days to write one page for these videos. To edit them, write them, slim them down, because you gotta it's one thing to have the information there, and the other thing to be able to make it as short as possible so you don't fall asleep. I got to keep you excited. Don't wake up out there. You can't see me, those that aren't on the webinars. You got to wake up. What I'm about to tell you is stuff that you don't want to miss. At the end of the program, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to give you some free stuff. Free, no cost. That's why you want to listen to the end, which is only just a few minutes. Plus, I'm going to tell you about the new rules for blood pressure. They lowered them. More people have high blood pressure. Yeah, it just came out like 3 days ago. They just announced it. So you want to stay tuned for that. So let me finish with the videos. So we went, it took me a few months to write the first batch. We went and we shot them. Now we got to edit them. And we did two different types of videos. We did the training video. So what you can expect is all the people that you tell 3B about, they're going to get what you didn't get. Those of you that have already started a protocol. And there's a lesson that lies in that too, right? It is this, that is helpful and valuable the videos will be for compliance, for simplistic following of the program, right? And people are still successful. You were all successful. 54 pounds and 65 pounds. I personally lost 78 pounds when I started a program. Yeah, I was a fat food scientist when I started this program, nearly 300 pounds. And I didn't have these videos, and you didn't either. It'll just make it all that much better. So there's a testimony there that the program, as far as the nutrients that are in the CMR, they work. They really do work. There's no hype there. It's actually something that does what we promise it'll do. You don't see that so much today in products and in services. So, wow. I'm glad to report that we've done that part of our job. So these videos we shot were two types. One is to teach you what was in your kit, how to order your kit to start with, how to customize it, how to navigate through the website and make sure you don't order the wrong thing. All of you that didn't know how to do that had to call in. We got that all on video. All of that's taken care of. Then what's in your starter kit? We actually go through and hold up, I got some salt right here even. We hold up every single item and explain what it is, what it looks like, and how to use it. We show you how to mix your shakes and why to mix them the way that we tell you. We go through the phase 1, week 1 sheet and go through the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner and the last meal of the day. And we go through all of that stuff, all of it. And it just takes time to do that. And the other type of video that we did was to help you tell all your friends about metabolic syndrome and about how you have a solution for them. The same solution that Bud and Renee and Merv and Bob all experienced, and all the rest of you, Emma. I'm trying to think of all the ones off the top of my head with testimonies that have sent theirs in. That's what those videos will be used for. So don't wait, because the program still works. Don't wait to tell other people about this program. You know why? Because 150 people are going to die before this webinar is over. And I pray that none of them that do pass are people that you know. They didn't have to. And who's next? Who's a week from now, or a month, or a year, or 2 years, or 5, that's just down the road, that didn't have to suffer through that terrible, preventable disease? Don't wait. You just can't. You can't. We have an obligation. Once you have the knowledge, you're obligated to share it. And that last line that Bud said, I'm going to say it again. I'm inspired. I just remember. This is a program that does not need selling. It only needs telling. And I'm happy to tell what 3Believe has done for me. That's all you got to do, is just tell them what it has done for you. Get on, like Bud said, get on phase 1. Follow the program. It's a meal replacement program. You're going to buy food anyway. The average study, the Gallup poll showed that you're spending $7.19 on food per meal anyway. Ours is less than $3.50 when you sign up as a sales rep. What in the world are you waiting for? You can't either wait to start. You need to do this for yourself and for your family, and you need to do this for the people that you know. If you've already been on it, you got to share it. And the great side effect is that you get to walk hand in hand with them down the celebrated road of health, but also you made some money, and you made good money, meaning it was honorable money. It was not blood money, right? So that's good. That's what I've been doing. Those videos will be, now this is where the editing comes in. I don't do the editing, all right? I can't, you can yell at me for shooting the videos faster. I take full responsibility, but editing, yeah, that's not me. I'm hoping to have them out. Well, we'll have them out before Christmas, absolutely. But so watch for them soon. I'll keep you posted. But they're editing them right now. They're working on them today as I speak. New news. I told you about blood pressure. Blood pressure used to be, you would have high blood pressure if your levels were above 120 over 80. Okay? The doctor would not prescribe you with medication of hypertension until you reached 140 over 90. All right? They've changed all that. You now have high blood pressure, and they'll treat you if you have blood pressure at 130 over 80. So they dropped it from 140 over 90 down to 130 over 80. Why? Why did they do that? Because the study showed that the risk is so much greater than they thought it was. The risk of having high blood pressure was even greater than it was for decades. of running it at 140/90. The amount of people that have high blood pressure now has jumped to nearly 50%. Yeah. Half of the people you know have it. And is it a big deal? Well, I don't know. 355,000 people die a year from just high blood pressure. Ouch. That's a lot of people. That's a lot. Doesn't have to be that way. Don't play that game. Do something about it. Don't sit back. That's one bit of news. I'm going to do a little bit of reminder about ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, what a great, great product. Now, are we the only ones in the world that have ashwagandha? Absolutely not. Ashwagandha has been grown in Asia Minor and in India, on the continent of India, for, I don't know, thousands and thousands of years. In fact, they've used it in Ayurvedic medicine for well over 4,000 years. So, what is it? Well, it is a product, it is a root that's been designed by our creator to do certain things in our body. Let me show you, or let me read through a list of what they have found so far on clinical studies. Anxiety and stress relief. I take it for that, so does my wife. Cognitive memory. It actually helps improve mental thought and a great precursor and fighter against Alzheimer's. Energy and stamina. Athletes have found. Now, all these are studies, all right, so far. Athletes recover faster. The VO2 maximum is higher. That basically means you're getting more oxygen into your blood, and that means more into your muscles so you can perform better and recover faster. Sexual function and testosterone levels in men are increased. Sexual functions in women. Stress, weight management, and overall well-being is improved. Muscle strength, muscle size, muscle recovery. And then here's some that they still have some clinical studies, but not as many. To treat cancer, it's been shown in humans to treat cancer, but also as an important antioxidant for tumor, to reduce tumor size, growth, and also helps. Of all the things, radiation treatment for cancer, basically how they do that is they just blast everything. They kill good cells, bad cells, and then we just hope that the body recovers. They've shown that ashwagandha actually helps in the effectiveness of the radiation on the bad cancer cells and a resistant as a shield against the good cells. Boy, that sounds good to me. It also shows, let's see, treatment of diabetes, primarily type 2 diabetes, to treat epilepsy, reduce fatigue, digestive disorders, and reduction of pain through lowering inflammation in your body, rheumatoid arthritis, and used as a sedative. I kind of use that, sleeping and anti-stress. Now, what's unique? If you go on the internet and you type in ashwagandha, for those of you that want to know how to spell it, ashwagandha, okay, just ASHWAGHANDHA. Okay. Anyway, there's lots of companies that have that. Why is ours so unique? Because everybody else just takes the plant and just grinds it up into a powder, or puts a capsule on it, a label, price tag, and takes your money. Well, there's with ananoids. That's the active ingredient that does all the magic. Here's what they don't tell you. You won't see them advertising this if you check on the details. There are two different types of withanoids inside of ashwagandha. There's the withaferin A. And if you have that in your your ashwagandha, it actually is a toxin. It does more damage than good, and they're not taking it out. The formula that we have is from a company that makes it, the only patent in the world that has the highest levels of the good with ananoids, with no with the farron A. That's what you don't want, and the one I buy is the only one that is proven to be able to make that claim. That's pretty cool. That's good. But you won't hear anybody else telling you that story. Why? Because they don't brag about stuff they don't have, right? And I want to talk about something else that's, oh, by the way, that ashwagandha is in every single serving of your CMR. Chocolate, vanilla, P22, P6, P3. It's in every one. And so you're getting a clinical dose in each one. But admittedly, sometimes I need more. And so we're making it for you in capsule form. That'll be out before the end of the year. And you can be taking extra just like I do and Callie, my wife, does. What else is in our CMR? Well, you've heard me talk a lot about digestive disorders, right? And I'm clicking down here on the page for my notes. And actually, you heard about one that overcame a digestive disorder. Acid reflux is a digestive disorder. This helps with that. So how we do that is I give you the most powerful digestive blend in a meal replacement or protein meal on the market. Now there's lots of things. There's 80 ingredients that I put into this shake, the ones that you buy. More complex than any on the market. But they're all there for a reason. I don't know. I don't just throw stuff in there because it looks good. Everyone has a clinical reason. I put it in there for its synergistic benefits, all to fight metabolic syndrome. All right. And so I have a strain of 15 enzyme and probiotics and prebiotic blend to increase your digestive quality. 47% of the food that Americans are eating is not being digested. Over half is not even reaching their cells. That's one of the reasons why the serving size has increased over the last few decades. Why? Because your body's saying, look, I know you ate it. I know, I saw the size of that plate of food, but I'm not getting all the nutrients that are in that food. And that's for two reasons. One, our food doesn't have as much nutrients in it that it used to have, just because our farmers are not remineralizing the ground. They can't afford to keep up with competition by working harder and remineralizing. And the other reason is because your digestive enzymes are not breaking down the food so your cells can get the minerals that are in the food. Not just minerals, but vitamins and all the other ingredients that are beneficial. So, I'm just reading here. I'm going to click some sound. I just got a note here from GoToMeeting that my audio has been lost. Hang on. It would appear that the audio has been lost here, and there's a call probably telling me so. Hello. Yeah, I just saw a notice on GoToMeeting. I'm trying to pull this up. I don't know. Yeah, Merv, hang on. Merv, I just got a notice. Yeah, I just got a notice on go to meeting. It's still recording, but try to redial into it. Well, wait, no, hang on. All right, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna reconnect. So hold on, just a brief second. Hang on, just hang on to the phones. Well, no, what? You redial back in and see if you can get back in, okay? And then call me back. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's shut this down. All right, we're gonna end this meeting for all.